Hi everybody, my name is Daniela Park and welcome to Living Sober. My first show. I'm here with Doug. We're going to be talking to people about how they get through life sober, and we hope that you enjoy all of our shows. I've got Doug with me here today, and he just came in from New York. We're really happy to see him. I met Doug through Instagram. He is a sober friend now. And how you doing, Doug?
I'm good. By New York means Baltimore in Spanish, but I'm doing well, and I appreciate you having me on your show. And you know, let's have a good time. I'd love to answer any questions you have about what I do on a daily basis to maintain my recovery and my sobriety. And you know, I'm looking forward to spending time here in LA.
Awesome. So, first question, what was your drug of choice?
I mean, for me, it started with marijuana. I mean, I think I slowly got into pot, and then it just became such an enormous habit that I needed something greater. And I got into cocaine, and then cocaine,
Whoa.
yeah, I loved cocaine, but the problem was I struggled a lot as a kid with anxiety. So cocaine and anxiety didn't really mix too well, and when you're snorting like an 8-ball of coke, you know, in a night, it's just mayhem. And I got to a point where I was selling like $10,000 worth of drugs a week.
Oh my God, I didn't even know this. I thought you were an alcohol guy.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I was in and out of strip clubs. I was, you know, just selling massive amounts of pot.
Wow.
And then anything else I get my hands on, and I slowly turned into to painkillers. And I was given a 5 milligram Percocet, and that snowballed into me putting 300-400 milligrams of Oxycontin up my nose every day. And you know, yeah, it was bad. And you know, I got lucky to get sober when I was in jail.
Is that how it happened?
That's how it happened. I was like a one shot, and that was it. I mean, knock on wood, I haven't relapsed. You know, I've never stopped and then started again. I just went to jail and I stopped cold turkey when I was detoxed in there, and I remember just going through like cold turkey detox of opiates for like 3 weeks, and I was like, man, like this is what's my body's been, what I've been putting in my body, and I was like, man, I never want to feel like this again. And you know, I had this aha moment. There was a couple aha moments, but one was just like my cellmate was like, you're gonna start working out with me. And I'm like, dude, I don't work out, man. Like, I could have been a model for Pillsbury, and now I'm like, you know, I'm jacked. I look like Mark Wahlberg. I'm only kidding.
Hey, you feel good about yourself.
No, I know, I'm kidding.
That's good.
We're in Hollywood. I might as well pump my ego a little bit, right? But,
might as well. Right? Join the crew.
No, but all kidding aside, and I remember one night, like, you know, I finally just kind of gave in, and I found myself, you know, telling my cellmate I wanted to work out with him. My cellmate was like he was seriously like I mean, to give you an idea what he looked like, he was like a more jacked version of Brad Pitt from Fight Club. He was like this. He was in great shape. And I remember one night I was eating dinner, and he's like climbing like the rails inside the common area. He's like doing pull-ups off the steps. I'm like, dude, is this guy on steroids? But you know, and when I first started working out with him, I remember I couldn't even do a push-up from my knees. I couldn't even do a push-up like from my feet. I couldn't barely walk, so I was smoking cigarettes too. And it was just like an aha moment that was like, man, like, what have I done to myself? And it just really motivated me to start doing something and start taking care of myself.
That's incredible, because now you're complete opposite. You're a health fitness instructor.
Yeah.
And you're a trainer.
Yeah, I'm a trainer. I own my own personal training business. I've been doing it about 8 years, and I really love it. And it's just something that's I'm really passionate. Like, I saw the difference that fitness and nutrition and positive, you know, mindset, people, all that stuff had in my life, that I just wanted to help other people show what it's done and inspire them to use it as well. Awesome.
So when you got out of jail, what were some of the changes you had to make?
Man, my life went like flip-flop, like 180. As it was a process. It wasn't like I mean, I think anytime in life we do anything like, you know, 100% all out, we fail pretty quickly. I didn't use drugs, but I got out and I changed on my friends. I slowly, over time, changed on my friends. I moved. I continued to work out. I was held accountable. I was on probation for 5 years because I was backing up 5 years in prison.
Oh my goodness.
For my felony drug charges. and I had to report to probation every 2 weeks or every whatever to go in a cup and sign in, and then I was living with my grandparents, and they said they would take care of me as far as paying for my food and not making them pay rent, but there were certain parameters. Like anytime I went out, I had to bring them a receipt of what I spent my money on. Over time, I kept working out. I ran. Like running for me was like therapy. I changed my whole nutrition plan, and I just kind of I lost a bunch of weight, and I kind of it incentivized me to just keep going. It really did.
That's incredible. I mean, just to go from just having weight on you and being fit is such an incredible thing, but the sobriety as well.
The judge never told me to go to meetings. Nobody told me to go to meetings when I got out of jail. I just kind of knew what I needed to do.
Right.
And I knew if something didn't work, I would always have to change it. But it's going on. 10 years. It'll be almost 10 years in a few months here.
Wow, that's incredible. Like for me, it's from the neck up. If I take one drink, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't stop. I have alcoholism. I am a full-on alcoholic. I have the disease, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I can't control it.
Yeah, it's crazy because there was times where, socially I would go out and have a glass of wine, or I'd have this or have that. And then there was when I first started working in the, just working and helping more people who were struggling with addiction, with fitness. I was I kind of teetered along do I really want to be drinking or because I went 2 or 3 years without having a drink, but I was worried because people would always ask me, well, do you drink? And I didn't want to lie, because I'm a man of integrity.
Yeah.
But I also I want to be myself too. I think it's important to not to be yourself and not try to mold into somebody else's. I'm not an AA guy. I respect it immensely.
Right, exactly.
But and when I say I don't work a program, means I don't go to meetings. I don't go to any kind of organized thing. But
you're a spiritual person, aren't you?
Yeah. What I do is I'm a devout Christian. I believe in God. I don't push that on anybody. I'm not one of those people who just pushes jams it down. I don't consider myself to be religious. I consider myself just to be somebody who believes in something greater than me. And for me, that's Jesus. It can be anything for anybody else, but do
you have any spiritual practices that you do?
Yeah, I get up and I try. When I'm, obviously not every day's perfect, but you get up and you pray and do a lot of journaling. And also, by the way I live my life, I'm a giver. I love giving. I love helping people. I'll never turn down a phone call from someone who's struggling. I'll never be the one who doesn't reach out and check up on people.
That's awesome. You're a saint.
And I like just helping people and giving, and I think that's just what the principles of the Bible say is about just a lot of it's just giving and not being a jerk to people and not judging people, and I try not to do that in my walk of life, and I do that, and I try to stay grateful for the things I do have. You and I were talking about my Uber ride on the way over here, and I'm that's the worst thing that happens to me. I'm good. But I also hang out with the good people, and I'm very, very, very picky about my inner circle, about who I let into my inner circle, and what kind of people I let in my life, what kind of people I spend my time with, because I think it's important that I think you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
I really do believe that, and if you're hanging around 4 or 5 other people that are constantly going out to the bars, getting hammered every night, or the odds of you doing that are greater than if you didn't.
Absolutely.
And then fitness, I try to work out 5-6 days a week. I try to eat a good sound nutrition, balanced diet 80 to 90% of the time, and I just try to be real, and I know that I'm a human being and I make mistakes, and
I like what you said. Because basically one of the things that I heard and I love, you got to give it away to keep it.
Yeah,
and it's so true.
Yeah, and that's when I actually went through the steps just to get more familiar with what they were.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And the traditions and everything, and it's a lot of what I do, I think organically does. I believe in something greater than myself. I know I know that that what happens when I abuse drugs, right? Mm-hmm. I know that I've made amends with my family. I know what the things I've done wrong. And then anytime I mess up or I have something that's struggling, I call a close friend. In AA and NA, it's a sponsor. I call a close friend, colleague, somebody I admire, and then I give it. I give it away. I just want to pay it. My cellmate always said, I was how am I going to repay you for you helping me with everything? He said, pay it forward. And that's what I've been trying to do. I pay it forward. I never want. Have
you ever felt uncomfortable? In a certain place where you felt triggered, or you felt anxiety, and what did you do to kind of get through that?
I mean, I haven't in a long time, but I remember when I first got out of jail. I mean, I was backing up 5 years, so I was still hanging around
Wow.
with a lot of my same friends, and we would go out, and I wouldn't do anything I wouldn't do anything. My friends would still be smoking pot and all this stuff, and I was so nervous that when I passed out, they were gonna like blow like a bong hit in my face or something, because they all had seen like how much.
That's all you were worried about. That's not bad.
Well, they had seen like how much. I mean, I used to smoke a lot of weed. I used to do a lot of drugs. And it was like for my friends to see like me go from that to like next to nothing, they were like, "You're not normal." Like, and even like when I run into, like, I feel like I lived 2 lives, Danielle. Like I feel like I really have lived 2 different lives. But I keep the workout routine my cellmate gave me on my bookshelf in my condo framed because I never want to forget where I came from. And I think a lot of times like people like, they let their fame, like their followers, and
Yeah.
they dictate like who they are status wise, and I never wanted that. I'm not famous by all means, but I've written a couple books. I've got my own business, and I've been clean and going on 10 years.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Doug?
I don't know. I see myself in the more motivational coaching space. I see myself getting on a stage and speaking to like 40,000 people.
That's incredible.
Just sharing my story, just helping people. Like I think, like right now in our society, we're kind of got a lot of things backwards. I mean, with just we're a taking society. We're not a giving society. It's like everything's about like, how much money you donate here, how much money you want to give, or how much this, or I mean, do you have this or you have that, and it's like we're all the same. We all put our shoes on the same way. We all put our pants on the same way, and we're a lot more fortunate than a lot of other people. One of the biggest aha moments I had is I sponsor a kid in Ghana. I donate X amount of money every month to support him, and his name's Abdul. But anyway, I remember when I first I looked into it, and there's this company called World Vision, and I looked into like their economic status, and it's like they make, the average person in Ghana makes like $9,000 like Ghana money a year.
Wow.
This kid was saying he has to walk like a mile to get clean water, and like $40 a month or whatever I started sending him was like paying for his food, him to get clothes, all that. And you think about that, and it's like put things into perspective, and it's like
You're really touching that person's life.
Yeah, and you just really realize like, man, like I have it good, and it's not about like.
Yeah.
It's not about,
We have it good. We really have it
do,
good.
you know
In
what I
fact,
mean?
tonight we're going to meet some people. You are actually putting together a new book.
Right.
Tell us about that.
So, as I said, I got sober, and my road to recovery is a lot different than many people. There's a lot of other people who haven't gone through AA or NA or anything like that. But what I'm seeing is the drug epidemic isn't getting any better. It's in fact getting a lot worse. And I think it's a combination of different things. But I think one is like, some people just don't know what to do. Like they don't know like what kind of path to take. I mean, if they don't fall into one of these standardized buckets, they're like, well, what do I do if I don't fit into AA or NA, or if I don't fit into harm reduction or whatever it is. So I want to interview 100 different people, from the famous to the infamous, on their road to recovery. And it's not like you come in and say what treatment center you went to or what program, but there's 5 different questions, and all the 5 questions they ask, and just to summarize, like how you get, what you do to stay sober on a daily basis, goes into your fitness routine, like your health routine. What are you doing to increase your health? What are you doing?
I'm lying on that one. No. I eat donuts.
Do you?
No. Once in a while, of course.
Right. Yeah, I saw them in your car. Just kidding.
No. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm kidding. But anyway, I'm looking at the types of people they hang out with, like asking them who the top people they are, and then what their spiritual life's like. I mean, like I said, because everyone's different, but I think a lot of people who are successful and recovered, from what I've talked to so far, not everybody, they have some sort of spiritual component, something spiritual. I'm not saying it's something that everybody else does. And then like we all have that telltale moment that was like, no more, we're done. And I'm looking to interview people who have really are really doing great things in recovery, not just people that are standing around like being like a dry sober. Also people that have got some time. Like I think You know, I want people to be able to read a book and inspire them. Like, man, this person stayed sober for 5, 6, 7 years. How'd they do it? Oh,
Yeah.
well, I see. Like, and then if they have 100 different stories of how people recovered, there'll be different tidbits you can take from each one, and then it can inspire kids, it can inspire moms, and just a vast variety of different programs. I mean, I'm interviewing, you know, people of all races, genders, sexual, you know, identities.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. I'm in the book too.
Yes, yes, Danielle is in the book.
A lot of people I know are in the book too.
Yeah,
it's very exciting.
It's gonna be fun, and I am not, you know, I don't work in the treatment industry. I'm not even in the media business. What I am is I own a personal training business. Fitness saved my life, and I'm passionate about helping others who are struggling with addiction. And I don't mean like I'm not a recovery coach or anything, but I just like sharing my story and then giving perspective and insight, because I feel like sometimes I'm like a 50-year-old in a 30-year-old's body, because I had to grow up so fast. And I surround myself with a lot of like older people, because it's just like, you know, people who have grown up, because they're not the ones out partying and going crazy anymore. They kind of settle down. And also to you know, I'm like, I love to write as a hobby. It's something I do. I've written a couple books.
And what's the name of your books?
So I wrote my first book, From Felony to Fitness to Free, back in 2014, to inspire people to make the most of their second chance, learn how to turn a negative into a positive. You know, faith, family, and fitness are 3 words to me that mean a lot, and that like kind of guide me.
Great title.
Like faith, you know, like I said, faith, and I believe in God, but you call it what you want. But I also believing in yourself. I think a lot of times when we make mistakes in life, Danielle, like we give up, and we're fearful of taking any more risks, and we lose faith, and we lose belief in ourselves. I think it's important to believe in yourself. Yeah, isolation, right? And you know, and then and family, like who you surround yourself with. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be blood. Ideally it is. Ideally it's the people that are integrated in your immediate family and extended family and stuff like that, but it's not always the case. You know, you want to surround yourself with people that are challenging, loving, supporting you unconditionally, I think. And I think
There's plenty of us out there.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. And I think if you can, you know, especially kids, like when I was at a school, you know, last week, and I was telling these kids, you know, if you can not surround yourself with knuckleheads that are out making bad mistakes, you'll be a lot better off than if you are. And then fitness, staying mentally, physically, and spiritually fit. And obviously that means that you take that what it means to you, not necessarily what you see somebody else doing, but what you like to do. If you like playing sports, go play sports. If you like yoga, do yoga. If you like this, I mean, I think a lot of people in my industry, and what I see with a lot of my clients, is they're chasing what somebody on the internet's doing, what their neighbor's doing for their workout routine, instead of doing what they will actually like doing, and that way they'll do it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
We're gonna be late for dinner.
I know. Danielle's got donuts to eat.
We're actually going out to dinner to meet Jeannie Rabb. She's the founder of Keys to Recovery newspaper. And anyone else?
And we're meeting Amy Dresner. Amy is, watch out, she's up and coming. She just wrote a book called My Fair Junkie.
Oh, that's right. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, and it's I just finished it on the plane. It is amazing. I mean, what I love about her book is there's no sugarcoating her addiction. Like, it's just all out there, and you can definitely tell her voice is in it, and it's amazing. It's one of the best, if not the best, books I've read.
Wow.
From addiction. Yeah, I mean,
I might have to read it on my trip.
It's so good, and I just love her sense of humor, her authenticity, and her vulnerability to share. And I think, like, you know, I think a lot of times we're trying to sugarcoat like addiction and stuff, and it's like, it is what it is. And I think the more we can own that,
yeah,
I think the better off we'll be in the long run.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree. Authenticity.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us on our first show, and I'm glad it was you, Doug. You made me feel a little more comfortable here.
So easy going.
We did it, okay? And we'll hope you join us again. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.